So there's been a lot of hype around Nike Dunks, and a lot of people been hitting me up asking me the question, DJ, what's the difference between Dunks and Jordan 1s? They look the same. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the differences between these two shoes. That way you guys have a better understanding and knowing what kind of product you're purchasing. What's up with you guys? How you doing? How you been? If you did not know by now, my name is DJ and this is The DNA Show. Now if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell notification for every time I upload a new video, and make sure you hit that like button because that helps the algorithm oh so much. So first things first, if you know anything about this channel, we always have to talk about the history of a sneaker first. That way you have a background understanding of the shoe and where it came from, why the hype is here today, and why every sneakerhead should always respect classic OG models, something like the Nike Dunk or the Air Jordan 1. Now I know every original sneaker isn't dope to every single person, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for the homage of the sneakers from the past, we would never have the hype of the sneakers for the current. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Back in 1985, Nike decided to release a promotional pack of the Nike Dunk High Be True to Your School series, and it had a bunch of different series with college teams that they sponsored that they had wearing their sneakers in their colors. This pair in particular that we're looking at today is a retro from 2016, paying homage to the OG colorway from back in the day. Also in 1985, we had a person named Michael Jordan. I'm not sure if you heard of him before, but he came out with his own sneaker and looked pretty similar to the Nike Dunk High. But they made a couple tweaks and they made it his version, and I'm telling you right now, there are actually a lot of differences between these two shoes. I know if you look at it like this, you may say, oh yeah, they look the same. But once you start really breaking it down, you're gonna notice there's a lot of differences between these two sneakers. So looking at this photo right here, these are some original colorways that released in 1985 that came out to the public that people had an opportunity to purchase, and look at the differences between the colorways, the color blocking, and a different style between the two. But I'm telling you right now, there's a lot more to it than just that. As you guys know, there are a bunch of different versions of the Nike Dunk High. You have SB, you got Lunars, you got so many different versions of this sneaker. And then when it comes to the Jordan 1 High, it's the same situation. There are a bunch of different variations of these, but I wanted to make sure that I brought you two versions right here that are similar to the OG styles that are retroed in today's market and that are obviously on everybody's must-have list. So let's go ahead and get started breaking down the shoe. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at the box. This is the classic OG style for the Air Jordan 1 box. This is a special edition box that's a little bit different than we would typically get. So I made sure that I brought an orange box that you would actually get on most Nike Dunk Highs, and that's the one that you would see right here. This all orange box right here was more of a premium version from this special pack that they did in 2016. But typically what you're gonna see for a Nike Dunk High is gonna be this all red box with the big white branding on the top. Now looking at the outsoles, as you see right here, they look very similar, but when you see these closer up detailed shots, you can see there is a difference in the patterns and then the width of the sneaker. The Nike Dunk High is a little bit more of a narrow sneaker, and the Air Jordan 1 has a wider outsole to it. And again, as you see in the images right here, there's a big difference when you look at the stars at the toe of the foot or the definition here in the center of the foot. Now working our way up to the midsole, it's the same thing. Yes, some people may say it looks the same, but when you see these side by side, you can see there is a clear difference. The Air Jordan 1 has a classic textured pattern right under the stitch line here on the midsole, and then if you look at the Dunk High, you can see there's a couple lines that go up and down vertically, but there's no real pattern to it and it's pretty smooth. Now taking it to the upper, one thing that I can say on this pair in particular, I do low-key like the leather on the Nike Dunk High just a little bit more than this Storm Blue pair right here. Now I know this was a premium version that they did release, so I have to take that with a grain of salt, but when it comes to quality for the dollar, I would say these are worth it just a little bit more to me, just because this sneaker right here 120 bucks, this one right here 160 bucks. Typically on a Nike Dunk High, retail is going to be anywhere from 100 to 130 bucks, and if you're thinking about a Jordan 1, you're thinking about anywhere from 160 to 175 dollars on the retail price for that. So if you're looking at price alone, this one is going to be a bang for the buck in that aspect. So I'm going to point out 3 similarities for you guys, and then maybe about 5 or 6 differences between the two shoes, and then everything else should be pretty obvious for you that I don't really need to say, which I'll show you in photos as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. So one thing that is pretty similar but slightly different is the tongue. If you look at the Nike with the swoosh branding here on the Nike Dunk High, you can see that it is very similar to the OG High Air Jordan 1, but the Air Jordan 1 always comes with the Nike with the Air underneath it. So if you're ever confused on the difference between the two, always look for the Nike Air on the tongue compared to just the Nike with the swoosh. But other aspects like the tongue material or the sock liner around it, they look pretty similar, and it's kind of hard for somebody to know the difference between the two on that part. Another thing that is pretty pretty similar on these two sneakers as well is the perforated dots on the toe of the shoe. And I know it's kind of hard for people to tell, but the dots on the Nike Dunk High are just a little bit smaller than you would see on the Air Jordan 1 toe. Another thing that looks very similar to a lot of people is where the swoosh is placed at on the sneaker. It is in the center of the foot right here, but the placement on the back around the heel is just a little bit higher on the Nike Dunk and a little bit lower towards the middle of the heel on the Jordan 1. Now let's get into the major differences, because as you can see, I'm showing you a lot of similarities, but they are still just a little bit different from each other. One thing that I have always noticed on Air Jordan 1s is when you look at the 3 holes here at the eyelets at the front of the toe, as you can see, the leather flap overlaps that seam line that you see right here and is stitched right above it. But when you look at the Nike Dunk, as you can see, it's separated into 2 pieces and the whole lining that comes around it is above that line. So for me, that's always a big giveaway when I'm looking at the 2 shoes and I see the toe of the foot. I personally like the way they cut the Air Jordan 1 just a little bit more. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Another huge giveaway for Air Jordan 1 highs is you have the Wings logo right here that says Air Jordan, and then on the Nike Dunk there's nothing at all. So that's a big giveaway as well. Just looking at the side part around the ankle, you can clearly tell the difference between the two. Now looking at the cuts of the materials and how they went about stitching the side of the foot is another big thing. On the back end of the Air Jordan 1, you basically have a cap that goes around the back of the foot. Then you have your Nike swoosh that comes around that, and then you have your white leather that goes on that side, and then you have your imitated strap line that runs around the top of that with the little collar above that. And I can't forget to mention the little square patch that brings it all together here in the center of the foot. So basically you got 6 different pieces all coming together right here to create the heel of the Air Jordan 1. Now when you look at the heel and the back end and the flaps of the Nike Dunk, there's one thing that's a big giveaway, like I just said, the flaps. So as you can see right here, you can unlace this area and it'll actually come apart and you can have the flaps hanging out to the side. Typically on most OG high Air Jordan 1s, they don't have the flaps. I understand we have Off-White, we have Zoom, we have other colorways that do have the flaps, AJKO, everything like that. For the most part, we have typically this style right here. And I know we're gonna have people in the comment section,
but DJ, you forgot the Rookie of the Years and the...
I get it, bro. I get it. I know you know a thing or two about shoes too. I understand. We're just trying to help everybody here. So anyways, back to the heel. If you look at the heel on the back of the Nike Dunk right here, you can see there's 4 stitch lines above the heel cap, and then there's a stitch line down the center of the heel cap. It's looking like 2 different pieces compared to the one that you would see here on the Jordan 1. And then right above that, you have a little square patch that's kind of similar to the Jordan 1, but this is actually a looped piece of leather that's almost like a pull tab, but it's not. And I'm not exactly sure what exactly you would use that for, because you can't even fit your finger in it. And I don't know like what the purpose fully is of that. So somebody please explain that for me down below in the comment section, because true functionality, I would never use that loophole for anything. Maybe people tie their shoelaces all the way through the back of it or something. I don't know. Drop a comment down below. So for the last thing that really stands out to me, as you see on the side panel of the Air Jordan 1, there's like a V-typed or an L-type shape, whatever you want to call it, but it's a stitch line that goes here and down. And if you look at the Nike Dunk, there's no stitch line right there. So typically when I look at Air Jordan 1s, I'm looking at the toe cap, looking at the perforated dots, the eyelets right here around the front, the Nike Air on the tongue, the Wings logo, the cap on the back, or that stitch line on the side of the foot to tell the differences between the Nike Dunk High. So I also went to Instagram and I asked the people, which one do you guys like more? Do you like the Jordan 1 or do you like the Nike Dunk High? And this one was a major landslide as expected. 95% chose the Air Jordan 1, 5% chose the Nike Dunk High. When it comes to price, resale, hype, exclusivity, all that different stuff, dopeness, collaborations, materials, whatever it is, both of these sneakers are classics. I respect both shoes. Me personally, I have more Air Jordan 1s in my collection because I do like Air Jordan 1s more, but at the same time, I always got to make sure I got some Dunks in my collection as well, because I mean, bruh, like, you gotta have it. But another example when it comes to that is price, right? When you look at something like the Air Jordan 1 Storm Blue, 2 similar colorways right here, this sneaker is going for like $800 to $1,000. When you look at something like the Kentucky Dunk High, this sneaker is going for like $500 or $600 bucks. So don't get me wrong, you bought this shoe for $110, $120, whatever it may be, you still got a big profit. Same with this shoe. You bought it for 170 bucks, you got a big profit. So that right there proves to me alone how dope both sneakers are. Some people can pick sides and choose, and other people can be on both sides and just love and appreciate both sneakers. I'm the type of one that's still in the middle when it comes to that aspect. I would choose Jordan 1s over Dunks if I could only have one, but luckily I'm fortunate enough to be able to have both in my collection. So at the end of the day, I hope this video was extremely helpful and helped you just get a better understanding on the two shoes, the differences and the similarities, and why people may think they are the same or whatever it may be. Which one do you guys like more, the Storm Blue or the Kentucky? I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I got a couple more comparison type videos like this for you guys with a lot of sneakers that are very similar but different at the same time, and a lot of people get misconceptions of the two. So I'm always happy and excited to help you guys understand the differences between sneakers, because every day we have new people becoming sneakerheads and they just don't know everything. So don't bash people in the comment section saying,
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't know this.
bruh, there was some point in time where you didn't know either. We all had to start somewhere. Remember that. Honor and respect the shoe game and respect each other. I appreciate you guys as always. I'll see you in another video. I'm gone. Peace. Yo, if you enjoyed this video and you want to make extra money or grow your shoe collection, I want to give you a free video with my 3 tips that were the most powerful, that will help you grow your sneaker collection and make an additional $1,000 to $10,000 a month. All you need to do to get this free video is click on the first link in the description or the comment that's pinned in the comment section. That'll take you to a page where you can enter your email address, and I'll make sure that I send you a video right away. And if you enjoyed this video, again, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. My name is DJ. I'm signing out. I got to go. I'm gone. Peace.